Hello, my Chunsters! My name is the Chun, and it is time to have some fun with Chuns Wrestlecast, episode 2. I hope you get what I'm going for there with the 2. Now, on tonight's show, I have a bit of a jam-packed show, actually. I have two special guests for you. They are Maximo Jr. and Jack Union of Team TNT. However, due to some technical issues with a few things, they're not here just yet, but they will be here later on. Don't worry, it will be happening. They are going to be here on the show. But in the meantime, that gives me a chance to do some of the other things that we've got to do, which is the plugs. Oh yeah, the favorite part of the show where I tell you what's going on in your local area, i.e. the southwest of England, basically. So yeah, we're going to do that. I'm also going to apologize right now. I am currently suffering from a bit of a cold, which is why I sound a bit teeny and rattly. And if I start coughing in the middle of this podcast, do not worry, I'm not dying. I'm just trying to get over a cold. But with that being said, plugs. Oh yes, cheap plugger. Because today I'm going to be talking to you about a show which is coming up in Cornwall. It is being run by CPW, that is Cornish Professional Wrestling. And the show is called New Year's Revolution. It's their first show of the year and is scheduled for the 13th of February. Now, it's going to be a big show. It's going to be a big show, trust me. It's going to be a big show. Remember, if I tell you it's good, you can take that to the bank because it is going to be good. Why is it going to be good? Well, let me tell you. There's only 2 matches that I know of at the moment. The full card hasn't yet been announced as far as I can see, but the card that has been announced is already awesome. We have El Ligero versus the winner, PJ Jones, in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which is huge. I'm a big fan of the winner. And El Ligero is, quite simply put, one of the best wrestlers in England right now. Bar none. It's just as simple as that. So I can guarantee you that is going to be an awesome match you are definitely going to want to watch. Apart from that, we also have CPW's first ever women's match. I believe it's the first ever women's one. And it's going to be Lizzie Styles versus Nixon Newell. And if you've seen either of these 2 girls wrestle, trust me, they're good. This isn't going to be an Eva Marie fest. This is going to be quality. I can promise you that. As for that, that's the 2 matches that I know of so far. But I do know of a few other people who are going to be appearing. That will be the CPW champion, Dancing Daddy Bainsley. He'll be there. The man who, he beat Jason King last time they faced, although Jason maintains that is due to referee Joe Obrey's interference and crooked nature, which we'll see if that happens. Also potentially, rumor has it, Jason King wants his rematch. Something to potentially afford to there. As well as Dancing Danny Bainsley, we have the pretty boy Danny Walsh, a marvelous Mark Walsh, the well-respected, well-travelled UK dominator Liam Lazarus, and also appearing Josh Knott. All these guys, I have seen them all in action before. I can promise you this show is going to be good. And where are you going to see that? Well, you're going to be seeing that at the Penrith Academy in St. Austell. Remember, 13th of February, be there. Let me tell you, if I tell you it's going to be good, it's going to be good. Now, as well as the shows, I also have some training schools to tell you about, because you all want to be pro wrestlers as well, don't you? I know you do. Well, if you do want to be a pro wrestler, here's how we're going to do this. You have CPW running their boot camps at the Penrith Academy on the 6th of August, and that's fortnightly. The next academy boot camp, is going to be the 6th of August. And I went to one yesterday. Awesome 5-hour event, and if you go to that, you will get a lot of training including a lot of fitness. So that's a good way to get started in pro wrestling if you've never done it before. 5 hours crash course. You also have PWA, the Academy, the Elite Fitness. That's also, I think, every fortnight. I haven't actually got a date for you on that one. I was looking for a date. I've been looking for a date on that one, but I can't find it. But you can follow that page at the PWA Academy Train Center. And, well, I can... And Jason King is thanking me for plugging. Jason King. Also, remember, he wants his rematch. So PWA Academy, you can follow them on their website, on Facebook. I'll try and include all links in the description for everything that I'm talking to you about. The other academy that's going on at the moment, which is incredibly prolific and produces fantastic wrestlers, such as myself, such as my two guests, is the LEP Wrestling Academy in Torquay, which runs every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. That's £15 per session or £30 for a monthly membership, which is an offer you cannot refuse. I promise you this. Where you'll be able to train alongside my two guests this evening. You'll be able to train alongside Jason King. And well, I'll tell you what, you will also be able to get your hands on one of these really cool, really stylish, and sexy LEP Wrestling Academy shirts. Trust me, you want one of these. These are really good, really comfy. So that's all my plugs for you today. That's all my plugs. That's what we've got going on in the local area. Remember, CPW, New Year's Revolution, 13th of February, and also all the training schools. All the links will be in the description. That's what I've got to tell you. And I'll tell you what, although you cannot see them yet in this podcast, I can tell you my guests are almost ready to go because I can see them, but they're hidden from broadcast just yet because they're not quite ready to rock, but they will be here soon. And that's also, I forgot to mention, Demi, I forgot. See, I'm losing my plugging skills. I'm blaming it on the cold. I also forgot to tell you that DWA will be starting back up in March. That's the Deaf and Wrestling Association. They will be starting back up in March. And when they do, they will also have a wrestling academy. And again, details on that, I will keep you updated as we go along. Now, as I understand it, I don't think TNT are quite ready yet. But this is the great thing about live broadcasting. It always goes exactly to plan. What was it Vince McMahon always said? Oh, yeah, that's right. Everything that happens when you go live was supposed to happen. That's what he always says. But I suppose whilst we're still waiting for those guys, as they're talking about the masks, I'm assuming we're also trying to find out how to get around Maximo's. He's Mexican. He doesn't speak that fluent English, but we should be able to find out about that soon. I've heard rumors there is a workaround for that, but we'll find out. And also, but whilst we wait for those guys, Austin Aries has signed for WWE NXT. I think this is part of WWE's idea to continue to expand NXT as a touring brand, and so they went and got themselves the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries. He has actually reported there are pictures of him live at NXT, so that is going to be awesome. I've just been put off because TNT are almost ready to rock, and I've just received a middle finger from Maximo. Lovely. Like it, son. Like it. That's all I'm going to say on that front. So yeah, Austin Aries, he has signed for WWE NXT. I'm quite looking forward to this because I think Austin Aries will suit the WWE style very, very well because he's got hybrid style. He can wrestle almost anybody in the sense that he's got high flying. He can wrestle bigger guys, smaller guys. He's also got quite a few power moves that he can bust out in the and. We've now got dancing going on. You know what? I'm tempted to just take them out from being hidden, just so you can see what Maximo is doing right now and how off-putting it is. Anyway, I think they're ready to go. They're both there. We're gonna bring them back in. I think it might take a. There we go.
There we go. We are live. We are live on the Glen Chun show. Whee! There he is.
There you are. We have Maximo Jr. on the left, Jack Union on the right there.
Good evening.
Now, I have heard of a potential rumour. Maximo, you do not speak a word of English.
Well, let me tell you there, Glenn. This past week, since we've known that we're coming onto your podcast, I have taken Maximo up to Buckingham Palace with me. I've hired a few tutors to teach him some English. So he does know a little bit. It's not that great, but he will try tonight to speak a little bit of English.
Wow. So this is special. This is special. Maximo has received a crash course in English.
Only a little bit, because he's a bit, but we'll get past it.
We'll get past it. Okay. Well, let's get going with your interview then. First question is always this is always a good, nice first question. When did you guys first become interested in professional wrestling?
Oh, this is going back to our childhood, I believe. Watching people like Rey Mysterio, Jeff the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, all of the big athletes that were in WWE, WCW, ECW at the time, all the high flyers. That's who we was really focused on. Luckily, Aunt Lizzie, Queen Elizabeth, for everybody that doesn't know her as Aunt Lizzie, she flew me out to Mexico when I was quite young, and we went to a wrestling training school out there, and I bumped into Maximo, and he was a little bit shy at first, definitely, and we kind of hit it off. We spent the whole of the 4-month vacation together. Yep. Big bro love. And from there, just like that. From there, he came over to the UK quite a lot. I went over to Mexico quite a lot. And we were just religiously watching WWE, watching the high flyers, learning, going back to the training centers. And it just came from there. We must have been maybe 6-7 years old at the time. It was absolutely brilliant. Love at first sight. But in a non-gay way, no homo.
No homo. So, Maximo, let's see. Let's put this English to the test. When was your first time? When did you first be inspired? Is it same story as Jack?
Wrestling. When was your first time in wrestling? 2 sugars.
There we go. 2 sugars was the first time he was interested in wrestling. That's okay. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very interesting going forward, but hopefully you're going to love this.
You see what I have to put up with day in, day out. It's ridiculous.
Well, on the ridiculousness front, it was PWA last Sunday. For those of you who weren't there, epic show. We had a match between these 2 gentlemen, TNT and the Elite. And something that became quite obvious during that match is Maximo has the ability, he thinks he can fly. For Maximo, hand actions, fly. Think you can fly?
Do you think you can fly? See, he cannot fly. He wishes he can fly. He tries to fly.
I can fly.
Oh, wow. Well done. I'll give you that. Yeah, okay. He can fly. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
He can fly. That's awesome. So that's a bit off script, actually. I didn't even mean to ask that. But what has been the highlight of your career so far? There must be one.
For mine, because I've only had a short career so far, even though I was a little bit over in Mexico with Maximo, in the UK, my highlight is the match versus the Elite. Unfortunately, we did not pick up the victory. They got the upper hand on us this time around, but I am looking forward to the rematch, and there will be a rematch.
There will be a rematch.
Absolutely.
Now, for those of you who do not know, for Maximo, I might be talking for Maximo a little bit here, but I'm assuming there are 2 potential highlights of his career, crowning achievements, if you will. One is that he is a former LEP Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, a title which Jason King proudly holds now. Trust me, but very proudly holds now. That was Maximo's at one point. And also, Maximo would like it to be known that in 4 attempts, Danny Walsh still hasn't beaten him.
Never.
You're speaking English well.
Never.
And that's it.
I think we'll take that as his crowning achievement.
I would like to add on to the LEP Academy Championship crowning achievement that you added there. Even though Jason King currently is the longest reigning champion, Maximo is longest reigning champion without having his title stolen.
That was interesting that you should mention this, because I was going to ask you about that. You see, there's probably quite a few people that should know this. This is actually the second time I've tried to interview you guys, because the first time we were actually at LEP Wrestling Academy. We're all in the ring. I was going to ask you a question, and then the Elite brutally attacked you guys. Now this, as it turns out, was a retaliation for something that you gentlemen did, which was to kidnap both Mark Walsh and Jason King and leave them stranded in Dartmoor.
Oh, we didn't kidnap them, Glenn. That was a little bit of fun. We were playing hide and seek.
Well, I must admit, they got hidden very, very, very well. I mean,
Absolutely, Glenn. Absolutely.
See, that's definitely been for everybody. I'm gonna have to try and find a way to link everybody to this feud, because you guys have already, because the match happened, and the way this match went was Maximo seemed to be about to finish off Marvelous Mark Walsh. He just hit the 619, looked like he was about to come off the top rope until Jason King got hold of the ankle, to which Maximo jumped on Jason King. Now, Jack Union, perhaps some compassion for Maximo got in the way there. You were checking on him, and then Mark Walsh hit the RKO. I mean, this feud, it's not over, is it?
Absolutely not, Glenn. Absolutely not. I mean, we had a little bit of fun with them. We were playing a game of hide and seek, and they took it too far. I mean, yes, Jason issued a challenge to us for the Tuesday at the LEP Academy. He issued us a challenge that he would be in the ring, ready and waiting. We showed up. We trained with our trainer, Danny Walsh, and nowhere to be seen. Absolutely nowhere to be seen. So we issued him a challenge to come on Thursday if he wanted his title back. Now, I thought us borrowing his title would be an incentive to come back to the LEP Academy and try and get it back. But clearly he is quite a coward. So on the Thursday they came. We were having a nice, pleasant chat, and out of nowhere we were assaulted for no reason whatsoever. So, sorry, another little plug there. It's going on Facebook, by the way. Yeah, we was assaulted. So obviously retaliation for their part for us, our game of hide and seek. The match on Sunday, obviously, like I said, it didn't go our way, but this isn't the end of TNT versus the Elite. Jason, Mark, if you are watching this right now, this ain't over. Trust me, this ain't over.
Maximo, any messages for the Elite? Anything you would like to say to the Elite, Maximo?
In all fairness, Glenn,
Yeah.
I feel as though we've been pretty recumbent about the whole situation. And I think when we get our hands on it again, we'll show who the better team is.
Wow. That's extremely well said. Well, I've also got to tell you, Jason King has been messaging me periodically throughout this podcast, and I think he's looking forward to further action. So let's get away from the nasty business with the Elite and their nastiness. Let's ask you a nice question. Who would be your dream opponent to work with? If you could have anybody, past or present, who would you want to face the most?
For me, it'd be 2 tag teams. It would be the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian
Ooh.
in a ladder match.
That's a good shout. A very good shout. Maximo, same question, mate.
Legion of Doom, Smoking Guns.
There we go. I always love that question. I love that question because you never know quite how people are going to answer. Did they go for the singles? But I figured with a tag team, it'd be interesting to see what tag teams you guys select. So here's another question. I saw this on a Dream Questions from fans, and it's been a good question ever since. What is your favorite part of being a pro wrestler? We're going to have to think about this one.
Oh, this one is a hard one, Glen. For me, it's probably seeing the smiles on the kids' faces every time that we come out of the curtain. The autographs, the photos, everything that goes along with it, making the kids happy. That's why I do it. And I believe that is also why Maximo does it.
Well, I suppose we could ask Maximo the same question. Maximo, what is your favourite part of being a pro wrestler as well?
Fans.
The fans. Well, I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to wrestle in front of anybody yet. But that's interesting. Grayson said the same thing. It's been the fans. So I'm looking forward to discovering all this. I really am. So again, another question. We're now going back into the realms of plugging a little bit for everybody who loves plugging. That's me. I like to plug. This is your chance now for you guys to plug any upcoming appearances that you have. Like, where can the fans watch TNT wrestle?
The next show that we will be a part of will be CPW in April. April the is it confirmed?
14th.
April the 14th, we have been confirmed for a singles match. It is an exhibition match. It is friend versus friend. It is Maximo Jr. versus Jack Union.
A friendly spirit of competition.
Absolutely. I mean, we all want to know who's the best out of ourselves, and the only way to do it is to test it in the ring. So, you know, friendly competition and everything, it's going to be settled in the ring.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you are going to be fighting each other, fighting talk, you two guys are sitting there right now. What are your messages for your opponent on April 13th?
No, after you, Maximo, after you.
Go on then, Maximo. What fighting words have you got for Jack Union?
Good luck.
Ooh, just good luck.
Good luck.
Okay.
Jack Union. Any fighting words for Maximo Jr.?
God bless. Good luck and God bless you.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a very, very, very interesting battle. I didn't actually realize you guys would be facing each other. I sort of figured you'd guys be booked to work as a team again. Oh.
Well, we were approached to have a tag team match by Terry Spiller, but we've always wanted to have this competition. We've always wanted to have this bout in front of a crowd. We didn't want to do it behind closed doors. We wanted to do it in front of the fans, so they could finally find out once and for all who is the better tag team partner. Is it Maximo or is it Jack? Is it Maximo or is it Jack? Hey, God bless you. Now you're what's going on? Have you been drinking? Tequila. Ah, tequila again. Oh, here we go. Look, I'm on the old Earl Grey. And you're drinking tequila? Yeah. You can't trust them. Not these Mexicans.
Well, they like their tequila. What can we say? Mexicans, they like their tequila. I hope I don't get done in a Richard Hammond kind of way for saying that.
No, I'm sure you'll be fine. Any lawsuits filed towards me?
Well, your connections with the Queen of England will come in handy there.
Absolutely.
So, for anybody out there who's thinking about becoming a professional wrestler, thinking to themselves, God, I want to get started. My question is, what advice would you give to anybody who's looking to start in professional wrestling?
Sorry, just for anybody that didn't see that, I'm just going to move the camera closer.
Ooh, okay. But hang on.
That is our advice.
In one word. In one picture, actually.
In one picture, that is our advice. LEP, contact Danny Walsh and get yourselves down to the centre. I mean, it's a phenomenal place. The guys that we train with, the guys and the girls that we train with, are absolutely 100% the most friendliest people I've ever met.
Apart from Jason King.
Except that one person, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys seem to have a real hatred for Jason King. Is there something beyond what's happened with TNT and the Elite that's driving this?
For Maximo, it's more about the belt, I believe. He never lost it. He's still really the current champion. He is the LEP Academy champion. Jason King is a paper champion. He was handed the belt. So, you know, Maximo needs his rematch. He wants his rematch. And hopefully he will get it.
And I'll win.
And he wins. Well, that's without a shadow of a doubt, he will win. Jason King is the paper champion. Maximo is the real champion.
This, I'll tell you what, gentlemen. I do have a special announcement to make right now, and it is this. After my original interview with Jason King was blighted with technical issues and other issues besides, I can tell you he will be on this podcast again. I can guarantee you that he is going to be on here. We're going to find out what he has to say about all of this, about being a paper champion, and that's going to be interesting.
Maybe you could do it live inside the LEP Centre, and maybe we can have some just desserts.
I'll tell you what, I like the sound of that, except for the fact that I think we've already had one too many podcasts interrupted by brutal from the back attacks.
Oh, no, this wouldn't be brutal. This wouldn't be a stab in the back. This will be a straight up, we will sit there, we will watch, and we will listen to what he has to say. If we disagree with anything, we'll make ourselves known.
Okay. Now that's good to hear. I'm glad you guys will behave in a civilized manner about Jason King on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We're the true gentlemen of wrestling. I mean, Jason King, he might like to wear his suits for his videos and act like he is a king But I spoke to Aunt Lizzie, and the only Jason she knows is Jason the Jester. There is no Jason King.
Jason the Jester. Well, that's going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, though, guys. That is... We've gone through that quite quickly. That is, like, actually the end of the questions that I wrote down. And by the way, I do have notes. That's the end of the questions I had wrote down for you. So,
okay, let me ask you a question then, Glenn.
Go ahead.
How are you finding training as a wrestler?
Extremely challenging and
Good.
very hard.
Good. It's not an easy sport. It's not the easiest of things to learn just like that. It does take a lot of time to pick it up. But I mean, you are training with one of the best trainers in the country, especially in the Southwest, Danny Walsh. You've got a great bunch of guys you work with. We've seen you work from behind the scenes and from out in the shadows. We're liking what we see at the moment.
Well, here's the thing. I do have, since you mentioned the fact that you have seen me working and you have asked me about how training is going, I would like to tell you guys, personally, right now on this podcast, I did have a match with you.
Yes,
and, okay, technically you guys walked away with the victory. This, I have to concede and accept. It was a nice little warm-up match for the Elite. However, there's a bit of a problem. My tag team partner, Jamie Pearn, was the guy who got pinned in that match. So technically what I'm trying to say to you gentlemen is this. My training is going so well, it's become quite clear to me that TNT is not capable of pinning and beating me.
Is that a challenge?
I'll tell you what. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Break your silence.
You were at training Thursday.
Thursday, yes, and Tuesday.
You saw what I was capable of on Thursday.
Are we talking about this moment?
Yes.
Where you F5'd Richard Jago, another trainee. I did see that. However, there's just one thing. I can move faster than Richard Jago, and you will not be able to hit that F5 on me.
Well, would you be able to move faster than both of us in the ring with you?
Well, yeah, why not?
Friendly challenge accepted.
Right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just need somebody to book that match.
Absolutely. Any promoters out there that want to see TNT take on Glen Chun and a mystery partner? Contact Glen. Let's set it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, wrestling training, I tell you, it's one of the things I will say though about the wrestling training is what it is tough. Yeah, it is hard. There's a lot of technique to learn so you can actually do everything correctly, so you can actually do it. But there is something else, another aspect to it that people have to understand, and that wrestling training is extremely rewarding and quite good fun when you're doing it. Because when you're picking up people and slamming them down, it is just no other way of saying it. It is good fun. And like I say, it's extremely rewarding when you finally learn how to do something correctly. Which goes back to what I was saying earlier about training schools in your local area. Remember, LEP every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday. Remember, CPW, the boot camps every fortnight. PWA also training apparently every fortnight. DWA, they will be starting up again soon in April. No, not April, March. There you go. April the 13th is when these two gentlemen, Jack Union and Maximo Jr., will be facing each other. Actually, whilst we're here and I've got back onto plugging again, if people want to find out what's going on with Jack Union and Maximo Jr., whereabouts on the internet can they find out all the news about TNT?
Well, at the moment, we currently have our own separate pages on Facebook. You can search for Maximo Jr. and you'll find Maximo, or you search for Jack Union, you'll find myself. We will be making a TNT tag team page so you can keep up to date with all our news and gossip. There is currently, I don't know if you can see it, is that yours? Yeah, that's Maximo Jr.'s Facebook page. And obviously mine is exactly the same as that, but with Jack Union. Yeah, like I said, we will be creating a TNT page, and he's just pulling up my page now. Such a gentleman. And we'll start keeping you up to date more often with where we are. Every week we are in the UK, and every other week we are in Mexico. But we do make sure that on a Tuesday and a Thursday we do fly back to the UK just to do the LEP training.
Alrighty. And also, if you want to find, whilst we're talking about Facebook and everything, I am working on setting up a like page for people to follow for this Raw podcast, so you can find out all the news, the haps on the podcast. But for now, the only real place where you can find out about what's going on in this podcast is on Twitter at Glen_Chun. And that is where I'll be announcing guests. Once again, I'm not going to give away too much just yet. You're going to have to go to Twitter to find out who the guests next week is going to be. And I'll be announcing that on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, you'll be finding out who's going to be the next guest on this podcast. So, gentlemen, let's have some fun because it's Sunday. It's Sunday the 24th, and there's this little company, which people might have heard of, called the WWE, and they're hosting their annual event where 29 people get thrown over the top rope. I believe they call it a Royal Rumble. And that's going to be happening this Sunday night. Now, the thing is, this Sunday, this year, is the first year the actual WWE World Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line in the Rumble match. So, let's have some fun. Predictions. Who is going to win the Royal Rumble?
Do you want to go first?
Daniel Bryan.
Yes, Daniel Bryan has been cleared by the doctors that he is fit to wrestle.
Number 30.
No, he will. He may come back to the Rumble, but I don't think he's going to win it. My personal choice would be Brock Lesnar. He is a beast. He is an animal.
Okay.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. 100%.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer my pick this way. Oh, just 2 seconds. Right. So my pick is somebody who we've heard a lot of rumors about, who would be a very deserving winner of the... Yeah, God, these gloves are tight. Yeah, you're guessing it already. My winner is going to be AJ Styles. That's happening.
See, I don't think Styles will be in the Rumble.
Even if he's not scheduled to appear, he'll just do an Eric Rowan last year, take out Curtis Axel, and then enter in his name. That's going to happen.
Okay, I've got a question for you, Glenn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which legend is going to return to the Rumble this year?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, me and Max have got our picks.
Okay. Again, apologies about dying there. Haven't thought about that one.
Well, if we give you our picks then.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll have to think about this one.
I've chosen Rob Van Dam to enter into the Rumble.
That's a good shout, actually.
And my pick was Kurt Angle.
Ah, okay. Well, off the top of my head, see, I'm trying to now think about who's actually been signed and everything, about who's signed to what company. So, since we have to go with legends, I'm going to say potentially Jeff Hardy.
Okay. Good pick.
I have a weird feeling, though, Rob Van Dam's probably going to be the most likely out of our three choices, though. Because, for one thing, I think Kurt Angle is still doing his TNA tour of the UK, which is his retirement tour from TNA. And I think Jeff Hardy is actually still contracted for TNA as well. I don't know anything about what Rob Van Dam's doing.
Nick's TNA's just TNA. Kurt Angle's just finished up his contract, hasn't he? He's not signed a new contract with TNA yet.
All right. I didn't realise it was already over. Although
I don't know about the tour. All I know is his contract has ended, but he's not signed a new one as of yet.
Ah, okay. I knew his last appearances were going to be on that UK tour that they do.
Okay.
But well, I'll tell you what, that'll be
interesting.
Yeah, the Rumble this year is shaping up to have a lot of potential interest and intrigue.
Yeah.
Which, it's kind of Rumble related, but for those of you who do not know, there was Tough Enough again this year. Tough Enough happened, and the eventual winner of that thing, Josh Brady, well, he's got some, let's say it's critically nuclear heat, like Chernobyl-style heat, backstage when he was asked by a fan on Twitter if he liked the Social Outcasts. He goes, yeah, I love it, the social jobbers. And he has earned himself some nuclear heat because every record he doesn't have any right to say things like that. And there's a potential for him to debut in this year's Royal Rumble so he can receive a special beating.
That'd be good to see. Yeah.
It's the one thing that did strike me though is you've only just won Tough Enough. You've been signed with the company, and the first thing you go and do is go and disrespect a load of people that are on the main roster.
Balls. Take balls.
Balls of steel.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be doing. I'm not doing anything like that. I would, if I were down at NXT, and even if I did think that about the Social Outcasts, I would not post it. You know.
No, I mean, you take the business how it is. You talk within your small groups about what you think of certain people. But if someone ever asks you your real opinion, you never really give it. Especially if you're one of the new ones on the block. I mean, the fact that you won Tough Enough, how many stars out of all the Tough Enoughs are still going today? How many people that have won Tough Enough are still going today?
Don't think anybody is.
There you go.
Maven's still in the Rumble.
Maven is still in the Rumble, yes.
Oh yeah, technically he never got eliminated, did he?
No, he's still been going through the Rumble every year. He's still winning it.
For 8, do you know what? He should start doing something on Twitter. He should start, or Facebook. He should start doing videos. I've been in the promo for 14. I've been in the Royal Rumble for 18 years or whatever it is.
14.
Ah, yes, 14. That's it. You should start doing. I've been in the Royal Rumble for 14 years. I have never been eliminated. Oh, that'd be really funny. Because that's what got Chris Axel over. And that is everything that I have. That's everything I had lined up for tonight's show. There was one thing I forgot to mention. Actually, now that I think about it, as I flip back over my page, to add further credence to the potential of AJ Styles and/or the Bullet Club going to WWE, potentially even debuting at the Rumble with AJ Styles. Turns out on Ring of Honor was these guys' last independent appearance. And turns out the Bullet Club had their very own, shall we call it, curtain call for Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
click moment.
Is this?
Excuse me.
This basically confirms that the Bullet Club and AJ Styles are going to WWE, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
We would like to think they are. I mean,
Sorry?
you would like to think that they are. Nothing's ever really set in stone until that contract is signed, but it's just one of those things we'll have to wait and see, really.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys who I've heard all the rumors. I'm still a bit like, yeah, but I'll believe it when I see AJ Styles raise his hands, create the P1 logo on WWE television. We've got an extremely big close-up of Maximo there. Yeah, I think that is everything that I had lined up for tonight's show. So there you go. that is. I had to shut up and just let everybody enjoy that moment right there.
Moment of insanity.
Yeah, the moment when TNT do what TNT does best and be a little bit crazy. So yeah, that is. I can feel it already in my throat. I'm about to start dying again. So before that happens, and before TNT get too insane to be broadcastable, that is. If I can get this camera to actually work again, that might be interesting. Okay, the camera stopped switching, so you're going to have to look at TNT as I do this outro. So yes, that is it for Chuns Wrestlecast episode 2 with the 2 special guests, TNT, Maximo Jr. and Jack Union. Big thank you to the 2 of you guys for coming on tonight's show and giving us the time of day. And big thank you to Maximo Jr. for learning to speak English for tonight's show. That was dedication, sir. I commend you.
It's no problem, Glenn. It was a complete pleasure.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the pleasure is all mine. Which is something. Yes, of course it is. Yes, that is it for Chuns Wrestlecast episode 2. All the links to TNT, their Facebook pages will be in the description, as will all the training schools and CPW New Year's Revolution. For now, from all 3 of us, have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Goodbye.